Let's go Browns! Something's brewing in Berea, and it's not just another routine training camp. A dramatic shift is unfolding. The Browns are about to make a decision that could shape the entire trajectory of their season, and perhaps even their franchise. Add to that surprise signings, strategic roster cuts, and the sudden arrival of truly intriguing names on both sides of the field. And what we have is one of the most unpredictable and risky off-seasons this franchise has seen in years. What's really going on inside this quarterback room? Who's truly on the rise, and who's rapidly falling off? Why are the Browns quietly filling their depth chart with track and field stars, international giants, and former Cincinnati rivals? There's more to this than meets the eye, and once you see what's happening, you won't be able to look away. I have a few more things to tell you, but before I continue, make sure you enjoy it, but only if you've been a Browns fan for over 17 years. It's always great to see loyal fans of all generations interacting here. It means a lot to us. If you can, right, go Browns! Let's go to the Super Bowl. Let's get straight to the point. Fracco isn't here just to mentor young talent. He's here to win, and that's what makes this situation so compelling. While most fans expected Kenny Pickett to be the immediate challenger, an untimely thigh muscle injury has derailed his preseason momentum. Pickett hasn't completed a full training session since July 27th. Though he returned to the field on August 1st, his absence from team drills has left a gap in his development. Pickett came to Cleveland after a stint as Jalen Hurts' backup in Philadelphia and was initially viewed as Flacco's primary competition. But his injury has allowed others to leap ahead. And here's where the narrative gets even more intriguing. Shedeur Sanders, the rookie out of Colorado, wasn't expected to be in serious contention, at least not yet, but the numbers don't lie. Sanders has quietly been the most statistically efficient quarterback in Browns camp. ESPN's report from August 2nd shows him leading the group in touchdowns and completion percentage. Even more impressive, Sanders hasn't even trained with the starting offensive line yet. But when he did get reps against Cleveland's first-team defense on July 30th, he held his own. Sanders himself acknowledged the physical toll the adjustment has taken. After sitting out team drills on August 2nd due to arm soreness, he returned for day 10 of camp and explained how the inconsistent tempo of practice reps has affected his rhythm. Sometimes you go in hot, then you wait for a second, and then you get cold, then get back hot. My arm and body weren't used to that, he said. Head coach Kevin Stefanski confirmed that Sanders was receiving treatment but emphasized that he would be fine moving forward. Now, let's talk about the fourth man in this battle, Dillon Gabriel. Unfortunately for him, the news isn't good. Gabriel went just 3 for 14 in team drills last Friday, a number that would raise concerns for any quarterback, let alone a rookie trying to make a name for himself. According to Cleveland sports radio host Darrell Reuter, Gabriel simply isn't showing NFL-level capability at the moment. He's not an NFL quarterback. Not right now, Reuter stated bluntly. If this trend continues, Gabriel could find himself on the outside looking in when final roster cuts roll around. So what does this all mean for the Browns? For one, the competition might not be as open as previously thought. Flacco is leading. Pickett is healing. Sanders is surprising everyone. Gabriel might not make the team. And while Stefanski has remained quiet about the pecking order, the performances are speaking louder than any coach could. Outside of the quarterback room, the Browns have also been making moves on the roster. One of the more intriguing signings is tight end Mitch Van Vuren. The rookie out of St. Norbert was originally signed by Seattle as an undrafted free agent before catching Cleveland's eye. At 6'5" and 242 pounds, Van Vuren put up big numbers in college, 65 catches, 1,045 yards, and 13 touchdowns across 2 seasons. Not only that, but he's a legitimate athlete, an NCAA Division III All-American in track, where he finished 4th in the 400-meter hurdles. He's wearing number 44 in camp and could be one of those hidden gems that the Browns coaching staff tries to develop into a reliable weapon. Meanwhile, Cleveland also picked up veteran running back Travion Williams, formerly with the Bengals. Williams has 7 years of NFL experience and appeared in all 17 games last season for Cincinnati. He brings depth and veteran presence to a backfield that can use it, especially with the uncertainties around Nick Chubb's recovery timeline. Williams is wearing number 36 and should factor into the rotation if he performs well in preseason action. And while some players arrive, others are shown the door. Offensive tackle Julian Pearl was waived to make room for new additions. But perhaps the most intriguing name added to the roster recently is Killian Zierer, a towering 6'7" offensive lineman claimed off waivers from the Atlanta Falcons. Originally from Germany, Zierer is part of the NFL's International Player Pathway program. He played his college football at Auburn but went undrafted in 2023. After spending time with the Texans practice squad, he signed with Atlanta in February before being picked up by Cleveland. Zierer hasn't played a snap in an NFL game yet, but his size alone makes him a developmental project worth watching. With DeJuan Jones and Jack Conklin slated as the Browns' starting tackles, and Cornelius Lucas already on the depth chart, Zero will have to impress quickly to earn a roster spot. Training camp is in full swing, and he'll need every rep he can get to prove he belongs on the 53-man squad. As the roster battles heat up, so does the anticipation. The quarterback position is always the centerpiece of any NFL team, but in Cleveland this summer, it's more than just a positional battle. It's a clash of eras, philosophies, and futures. Will experience win the day? Can a rookie truly break through? And what happens to those who fall behind? And as we continue unraveling what's shaping up to be one of the most compelling quarterback stories in recent Browns history, we have to take a closer look at the ripple effects this battle is already creating across the entire locker room. When you have a veteran like Joe Flacco reasserting his presence in camp, the tone shifts. Players respond to that leadership. Flacco is operating with calm, precision, and confidence, and it's resonating, especially with the younger offensive players who are looking for stability in an otherwise high-pressure environment. But while Flacco's rise is commanding the spotlight, Shedeur Sanders' rapid progress might be the most disruptive development in this camp, not in a negative way, but in a way that challenges conventional timelines. Sanders is playing like someone who doesn't want to wait, statistically outperforming veterans, adjusting quickly to NFL speed, and now practicing against the first-string defense. He's making a legitimate push. And here's the twist. The Browns haven't even fully integrated him with the starters yet. What happens when that alignment changes? There's a growing sentiment among some within the organization that if Sanders continues at this trajectory, the Browns might not be able to justify keeping him out of the top 2 on the depth chart for long. And let's not forget, this team isn't rebuilding. This roster is playoff capable. They need results now. If Sanders offers more upside or even similar production to what Flacco can provide, but with long-term potential, this coaching staff may be forced to make a much tougher decision than they expected. Meanwhile, Kenny Pickett is still stuck in neutral. There was genuine hope that he could take a big step forward this offseason, but injuries have robbed him of the chance to build momentum. Stefanski's reluctance to rush Pickett back into full team drills is understandable. Hamstring and thigh injuries can linger if not properly managed, but the longer he stays on the sideline, the further he falls behind in this increasingly competitive race. For a player who came into camp expected to push Flacco, his window of opportunity is narrowing by the day. And then there's Dillon Gabriel. As much as fans hoped the rookie could bring some of his collegiate flair to the NFL, things just haven't clicked. His 3 for 14 showing in team drills raised immediate concerns, and analysts are now openly questioning whether he's even NFL ready. Gabriel is now dealing with hamstring tightness, which only further complicates his ability to rebound. The physical limitations are one thing, but the mental speed of the game appears to be his bigger hurdle. Coaches are trying to get him limited reps, but unless something dramatic changes, Gabriel is trending toward a practice squad role, or worse. Let's shift focus to the trenches, because the Browns' latest move there could be a quiet game changer. Claiming Killian Zero off waivers might not make headlines today, but standing at 6'7", this former Auburn Tiger and International Pathway Program player could be a long-term development project with massive upside. The Browns' depth behind DeJuan Jones and Jack Conklin has been thin, and while Cornelius Lucas brings veteran insurance, Zero gives the team something it doesn't have, a massive, athletic, moldable piece with international pedigree. What makes Zero interesting is how the Browns are building around raw physical traits and trusting their coaching to do the rest. He didn't play in any games with the Texans, so he's essentially an NFL blank slate. Cleveland now has the opportunity to shape him into their prototype backup or even eventual starter if the investment pays off. But it won't be easy. He'll have to learn fast and prove he can hold his own in live reps. Preseason snaps will be critical for Zero, and if he flashes, don't be surprised if he carves out a spot for himself in what's becoming a highly competitive offensive